Morning, guys. William here with Patriot Containers. Yesterday I did a video that I didn't post, and I was just generally talking about cargo container sizes: 10 footers, 20 footers, 40 footers, 40 foot standards, high cubes, and all the different conditions: 45 footers, 53 footers, and then also the custom sizes that can be made. I felt like when I watched it before I posted it that it was just too much information that I was forcing into one video. And I don't know, I just didn't like the way it came out. So today, what I want to do, let's talk about 20-foot containers right now. And 20-foot containers are going to be 8 foot wide, 20 feet in length. And I've seen the weight of these things vary from 4,600 pounds to 5,200 pounds. And it says the weight of the container on the door. This is going to be the cheapest container you can buy. Anything smaller than a 20-footer is actually more money than a 20-footer. So if you're looking for the cheapest storage for your property, you gotta, if you're counting dollars, you gotta go with the 20-footer. Now, when you buy a used container, a used 20-footer, whether it's in bad used, good used, mediocre used, that container will be 8.5 feet tall. The interior height is going to be 7 foot 10 inches. You can get and the used ones will only have a door at one end only. You can get 20-footers with doors at each end, but they have to be new one trips. You can get 20-footers that are 9.5 feet tall, but they have to be one trips. So typically, typically a used good condition 20-footer should cost you anywhere from $1,600 to $1,900 depending on your area. They're always cheaper toward the ocean, if that makes sense. The farther away they go from the ocean in the United States, the more expensive they get because they had to be moved there. But yeah, the cheapest thing that you can use for your property, if you need storage and you want to spend as least amount of money, you have got to go with a 20-footer. And you can get all these funky, again, back to the pricing. If you go with a used 20-footer, a good one's about, $1,600 to $1,900, okay? Depending on timing, shortages, how many there are. And that's usually controlled by the shipping lines, not companies like myself. If my purchase price is higher, your price is higher. If my purchase price is lower, your price is lower. A good example of that is 2021. 2021, these containers became so expensive that I didn't even feel like selling them anymore, and I didn't have any employees, so I just took a break. And for a long time, I had enough money, so I could just take a break. But if I could buy, or if I could sell you a good 20-footer for $1,600 or $1,900, you can still find them cheaper. I've purchased cheap cargo containers for as low as $500 or $600 a long time ago. But if my purchase price is $500 or $600, your price is going to be $1,000 or $1,100. And those containers are horrendous, and you don't want those. You like the price, but you don't want the container. So if a good one costs you anywhere from, I don't know, $1,500, $1,600, $1,900, and it fluctuates. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. You can get not a good one, the best one that's new for $2,800 to $2,900. And I believe that that's a really good deal. I know it's a lot of money, especially if you're counting dollars. But if you want a container that is not only a new one, but now it has double doors, or now you want it to be 9.5 feet tall, or maybe you're really picky and you want a 9.5 foot tall double door one tripper. You're just making the price go up and up and up. I've had a lot of people sometimes call me and go, "Hey, I need this to be 9.5 feet tall," and the price difference is so much that they go, "I'll just take the 8.5 foot tall one," and they'll save $1,000. Or, "I want this to have double doors," and then they see the price difference. They go, "I'll just take the one with doors at one end only." You can find what's called an open side. I get requested a lot by these because people use these in their marketing to attract people calling. It's a container 20 feet in length. There's cargo doors on the 8 foot side, and then there's cargo doors on the 20 foot side as well. It's called an open side. The whole thing opens up. That's the most expensive container version of the 20 footer that you can buy. You have to be aware though, is that because it's so expensive and everybody wants it because it looks cool, I think people actually even want it. They don't even need it. They just go, "Oh wow, that's cool. I want that." The problem with that though is if you call legitimate companies, they come with a hefty, hefty price. And the there's bad companies that sell these and eventually deliver you a horrible container and offer a horrible service that I expose. The dark side of this cargo container industry. I expose all that on my YouTube channel. But then there's scams. Scams are companies, and I don't know if they're in the United States. I don't know. They use false company names. They use false addresses, and they make it look like they're a legitimate company. And if everybody is quoting you an open side that, let's say it's $6,000, well, the scams are going to go, "We have them and we'll deliver them to you for $2,500 or $3,000." Well, no legitimate company can match that price. That's the scam. So you think you're going to get this container that's super, super expensive for this. It's not a low price. It's a lot lower than you can buy it, but it's not a low price. And then they make you Zelle or wire transfer the money to them, and then you don't get anything, and they drop off the face of the earth. That's a lot of money to lose. It's not like a company scamming you for hundreds of dollars. They're scamming you for thousands of dollars, and that's not good. So my only 2 cents on how to avoid scams: never pay by any type of cash apps, don't pay by wires, and then don't pay by Zelle. You must pay by credit card if you buy from those. If you won't know you're buying from a scam, or you wouldn't do it in the first place. But I always think debit and credit card are ways to protect your money and you can always get your money back. But yeah, that's 20 footers, guys. I might do 10 footers next. I might do 40 footers, but I wanted to throw in a useful video there that 20-foot containers. I always tell people they're about 5,000 pounds empty, and 8 foot wide, and the used ones are all 8.5 feet tall. You can't get a cheaper container on your property other than a 20-foot container. So anyways, guys, that's it. Happy Sunday the 5th. Bye.